today, hold on, actually, it's okay, Squirt, it's okay.
No, got scissors.
Huh?
Got scissors.
No, they're right outside. It's okay, Squirt. It's okay, Mama. I know. All right, so we have Pretty Bert, Layla, Charlie, Blue, and Peach separated out from the gaggle. The reason for that being that we need to trim, watch out, Squirt, baby. Squirt and the 5 Canadas. They're at that time of the year where our birds have regrown their flight feathers. My daughter is going to assist me best she can. Be patient with us. We are dealing with exotics. And they're not normally handled like this. Especially Squirt is going to hate this. Melody, do you remember?
Yeah.
You remember where?
Yep.
Along. We're taking away the primary feathers at the tip of the second feather line, right?
Yep.
Okay. We're going to try to start with Squirt so we can get her out of the way and she doesn't have to be stressed as much. Hopefully. So Squirt's likely going to be on the biggest spot.
Yep.
Pull that back a little bit so we can corner her. Either one of us can grab her. And you can block her and I'll grab her. Come on, Squirt, baby. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Mama. Come on. Squirt hates being handled. But we trim their wings to keep them safe. It's okay, Squirt. It's okay. I know. Here. Alrighty, guys. I know, baby. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay. Right here. Cut. Come on, baby. Closer. Closer to those feathers. This should be enough. Good. Open the door. So she can go. It's okay, Squirt. It's okay. I'm sorry, Mama. Here. Here you go. Squirt, go ahead. You can go, Mama. You can go. You can go. All right. Relax. Alrighty, guys. So, now with Squirt, I did not bother trying to show you guys what I'm doing because Squirt's terrified. We're trying to get that done quick. You guys saw how quickly my daughter moves. She moves as fast as she can because their feathers are thick. It is not super easy to cut through them, okay? But right here you can see these are the primary feathers that we trimmed. Get a good look here. The primary feathers are the longest ones of the feather, the longest part of the feather. They are the ones that appear the largest on the wing. And it's very important that you do not cut any other feathers besides the primary feathers. So what you're going to notice is on a goose's wing, imagine a goose's wing as an arm, okay? And imagine it folds like this, okay? So this is the very tip of the feather. This is their elbow. I'm sorry, their shoulder and their elbow. So when they fly, they put it out and they flap. Obviously, their wing bends in a different direction as my, elbow and shoulder does. But regardless, when you trim the primary feathers, you've got your primary feathers that extend from the tip of the wing to the first bend, okay? The primary feathers are the really long, darkest ones on Canada geese. It's the darkest ones. And then you'll notice there's a second layer of feathers, which is, I believe, called the coverts. I'm not 100% sure. Now, you do not want to cut those at all. You don't even want to cut the tip of them. So you are only cutting the primary feathers. You are not cutting any other shorter feathers at all. The shorter feathers, so the primary feathers inward, and where the shorter feathers start is basically your line of where you're cutting. and you do not want to cut past the elbow. Everything from here towards the shoulder stays the way it was before, okay? And you're only doing one side because if you trim on both sides, you're going to find yourself basically evening out the trim. And if you even out the trim, your bird is then going to be capable of learning flight. That's why it's so important that you only trim one wing. I have 5 Canada geese left to trim. We got one right here next to me. Come here, babies. I know you don't want to. Pretty bird, be nice. And the reason why I'm not trimming Blue and Charlie is because they're both pinioned. I don't like pinioning. I was not aware they were going to be pinioned. I didn't ask the breeder either, though. So Charlie and Blue are pinioned. This means that they're permanently rendered flightless. When they were babies, they clipped off the very tip of their cartilage on their wing. Again, I personally don't like it. Which once their wing grows in all the way, because in the beginning it's just these tiny little chicken wings, very disproportionate to the body. When you clip off the very tip, what it turns out to be when they're older is that basically from this part forward, their wing is missing. So this part of the wing never actually grows. Let's see. Okay. Anyways, so what we do is we want to focus on making sure that we don't hurt them, and you want to make sure that when you trim the wings that you don't cut into any blood feathers. So you want to make sure that the feathers that have grown in are no longer, don't have that dark blue color to them anymore at the very base. And that's basically how you can differentiate. Also, you want to make sure that they've reached the length of feather that they're supposed to be. So I'm going to go ahead and start now on the Canadas. Again, some of them are going to fight me more, some are going to fight me less. This is completely normal. Geese are not, in average, are not going to be your cuddly pets, okay? These are all my pet geese, but they're not going to be cuddly pets, okay? So they need proper handling. Come on, babies. Okay. Come here, babies. Come on. Come here. I know. Come here. Come here. You're okay. You're okay. Come on. Come on. You're okay. All right. Quick. Quick. No. We can't fight, baby. We can't fight. I can't lose you. No.
Are you on sport? Are you on sport before?
Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. You're okay. You're okay. You're okay. Can you? Can you? One more, come on. There you go. Out. Go relax. You're okay. A lot harder than it looks, huh? A lot harder than it looks. All right. You want to go grab that spray, babe? Alright, go down and grab that spray real quick. Real quick. I'm gonna eat too. Go on. Run. Bring it for both of us. The spray should be on the porch table. Alrighty guys, we got 4 more to go. Now that one did fight a little bit harder. And again, we're going to have some of our geese that are going to fight much harder and some of our geese that are going to fight less. The thing is that you will really only do this once a year. And in my opinion, it's worth it when you consider that you're not having to remove an entire, well, half of their wing for pinioning. Yes, this is a stressful situation for them. They all want out. They want to be with their gaggle. The reason why the gaggle is currently divided is because basically each goose that's done goes out to free range and be able to take a bath and not have to worry about anything, not be locked up and stress anymore, be able to relax. When you think about the rest of the geese that don't need to be trimmed, those geese, if I were to keep them in here, I have 12 geese. So I'm going to have a gander that is going to, sorry, I'm in Texas and it's hot. I have a gander that is going to be very unhappy that I'm messing with his gaggle and that I'm stressing out his geese. Now, Pretty Bird, he's a hybrid. He's been grounded for about 5 years of his life, and chances of him flying are nearly zero.
Also one nearly up here.
I said there was one on the table outside. Okay, let me go check. Sorry guys, I'll be right back. Okay. Melody can't get through it. Alrighty guys, we're back. Sorry. Come on. Let's get back to it. Alright, gotta grab another one. Sorry for the interruption, guys. I've got my Canada geese here. We're trimming wings. Come on in, guys, and close the door. I've got my big boy here to help me out, my son.
Me, I'm the big boy.
Yep. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this. We trim the wing. Melody can show you exactly where. Okay?
All right.
And literally just try to keep cutting. It is stressful, all right? But I hold the goose and the wing in place, and you guys cut along a specific line. Melody will show you. There's like a feather line. You basically just follow that line, okay?
Got it.
And I tell you when to stop. All right, come here, babies. I'm sorry. I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's okay. Come on. Come on, guys.
How am I going to be helping with this?
You're going to cut.
Don't get
Melody has to. I'll show you. Back off. Back away. Okay. Now, show him the line, Melody. Melody's following the line. much. Come on, baby. Stop. It's okay. As fast as you can. Alright, get out of the way so I can let him out. Let her out. Going. Good. You're good. You're all done. You're okay. Alright. I know it sucks, guys. We got 3 more to go. Alright. Let me see if I can't change the camera position so y'all can actually see something a little bit. Let's see. Let me go ahead and see if I can attach it right here. I'm trying to let y'all see what I'm doing. It is hard though because I don't got a light. You got your phone?
Nope.
Of course not. Because why would my child have their phone? Alright. Let's see. Nope, we're not going to really be able to see anything. Can you run and get your phone?
Yep.
Or your flashlight?
Mm-hmm.
Please?
Yep, I'm doing that.
Well, so you can hold the light while Justin cuts. Because Justin's not going to be able to tell where to cut now.
Is the lighting?
Huh?
The lighting?
Yeah. The feathers blend well.
Yeah.
Alright, so got another goose done. My daughter's gonna go and get her her flashlight or her phone, whichever one has charge or has a battery currently going, so that you guys can also see better, so that anybody who needs to learn how to cut their goose's wings hopefully can see a little bit about how it works and how I'm handling geese that are a lot more skittish, a lot more scared, and a lot more likely to fight. Now, my geese generally are not scared of me. They usually will follow me everywhere. I can pet them. But there's a big difference between petting a goose and picking them up or grabbing them and holding on to them. And there's a big difference between doing so and pulling out their wing and then holding that in place. That is a very stressful situation for them, so you want to try to get through it quickly. Justin, to get through the wing faster.
Yeah.
Here. When you cut it, don't cut it like this. Cut like this.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about? Like, open it. You know what I'm saying?
Open it fully.
And then go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got a better bet.
Chicken fall back.
They always follow us.
Sweet.
Yeah, Sweet always follows me everywhere. Apart from the front yard. So not everywhere.
I don't have food.
Hi, Sweet. And I can tell you guys, I absolutely hate doing this. I don't like stressing out my birds. It's my least favorite thing to do, next to stressing out my children.
Makes me feel uncomfortable too.
Yep, alright. You're going to be lighting it up. I'm going to adjust my phone. Shine the light over here, please, baby. Let's see. How well can we see here? Let me see this. You're going to want to be here, like this. Should be able to see here. But let me try and adjust this more. Get you guys lower down. I'm trying to make sure, here, grab your phone. I'm trying to make sure that you guys will be able to see the wings when we cut them closer up. And for my daughter to be able to light up, you're going to shine the light at the wing. So Justin can see. I need you ready to point out where he needs to cut if need be, okay?
Okay.
All right, come here, babies. I know, I'm sorry. Come here. Come here. I know, I'm breaking your trust. I know. Okay. Come here. Okay. It's okay. It's okay. All right, Justin, be ready, please. See that? Don't be in.
Okay, sorry.
It's okay.
I said
There you
line.
go. All right, guys, look. Just move your leg. There you go.
Right here.
Yep.
The line, right?
Cut it. Remember what I showed you, Justin. They're gonna be scared.
Yeah, I'd be scared too.
You can use
Perfect. Not so far. Not. You gotta be closer to that line, dude.
Okay.
They can still fly if you don't cut close enough.
Oh my! I don't want to risk hurting them.
No, you're not. At the line, dude. Okay, stop. Now cut that closer. Not that. Right here.
Right.
Okay, never mind. It'll be fine. Sure, it'll be fine. Move. Move so we can open that door. Oh, you gotta take off the elastic, baby. You got it. It's a learning experience, honey.
Sweet.
Go on, babies. All right. I gave you guys a better image of how to cut the wings. My son is doing this for the very first time, mind you. Okay, this is only the second time that we're trimming these birds' wings for these Canada geese. And he's doing a good job. He's making sure that he's not cutting too close as to not injure them. That's his concern, which is why I let him know that he won't hurt them if he follows that line.
Sweet.
And that's actually most people's concern because yes, if you do cut into that second feather line, you risk cutting the very tip, like the very base of the feather, which can cause bleeding because it is connected to their blood vessels. So his concern is valid, but as long as you don't cut those next feathers, you're good. You want to be as close to them as possible. It's basically like a drawing line.
Yeah.
Like you want to stick to it. And when you go to cut, Dee Dee, just try and pay attention to your legs so you don't block the camera. I know it seems ridiculous right now, but we're trying to help other people so they can do better with their birds too.
Yeah, as to not risk.
Don't matter. Okay. Come here, baby. I know. All right, I've got another gander here, and he's not gonna like it. Yep, he's fighting. All right, 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 all right. Quick. Perfect. Remember the base. Remember the base of the, like I showed you with the scissors,
it's not-
Justin.
Yeah, press down hard.
There you go. Closer. Closer.
Closer.
Yep, you got this. You're doing it. You're doing it. You're doing good. All right, good. Perfect. Oh, done. Thanks. Knocked me in the cheek, didn't you? I know. I know. Hey, 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 hey. This way. Oh, that one got me right in the throat.
You okay?
Yes.
I see a chicken up there.
This is a hazardous job. Melody, light, please, so I can see what I'm doing.
Sorry. Sweet's
So I
on
can
top.
clean this up.
Sweet's on top of the aviary.
Yep, I know. I saw.
You stupid chicken.
Sure is a goofy chicken.
What chicken isn't stupid, Melvin?
Don't be a butt.
Barbecue.
Let's see. No, those are geese. These are Canada geese. These are cobra chickens.
Yeah.
The kind of geese everyone fears. Okay, mamas, come on.
Petrie.
I know, Petrie. I know you're terrified and you hate being handled. I know. Petrie's very scared. Very, very, very scared.
Very skittish.
Very scared. All right, there you go. Quick. Very good. Perfect. Perfect. No, don't skip.
I missed it. Sorry.
Very good. Very good. Okay. Let them out. And there you go. Go on. You're free.
I'm gonna find something sweet off the roof.
All right. I hope you guys were able to see what we were doing. And the whole gaggle is done now. I'm going to let you guys see the gaggle. There we go. So here, right here, you see our gaggle of geese. Come on, babies. It's okay, babies. I know. Now, they're probably going to be mad at me for a couple of days, but they're going to be okay. This is Pretty Bird. He's the one this channel started with. Oh, peaches. So, let's see. How do I tell the difference? Well, the biggest difference between ducks and geese most of the time is that geese are larger. They're much bigger, as you guys can see. They're big birds. Two, it's the markings. They have different markings. And three, they have distinctly different beaks. So if you look at a goose's beak and you look at a duck's beak, you're going to see that duck's beaks are generally flat and long and much larger, and their heads are shaped differently to their beaks. Whereas geese have more of this shape or this shape. So that's a domestic goose, and this is a exotic goose or a wild goose. The reason why I'm cutting their wing, oh, also it's the sound. Ducks will quack, geese will honk. So geese will sound like ha ha or or ha ha. Like geese will have different sounds that are more like honking, whereas, and you guys can hear Layla, she's another domestic. Whereas ducks will have that more raspy quacking sound to them. Now, sometimes there can be similarities. All right, don't pull. It's okay. It's okay.
We're trying to get him off.
I know. Just give it a minute here. Hold on.
He's not
Here.
listening.
I know he's not
I
listening.
tried going over.
We've got a chicken stuck on top of the aviary.
Yep, nuggets.
All right, let's. Gotcha.
Is he okay? The freaking hit the box.
He's fine. He flew down. Hi, sweet. What are you doing? What are you doing on top of the aviary, you big dummy-o? Come here. Here we've got Sweet. He's a chicken. He's a rooster.
He's nuggets.
Nuggets baby. Now, the reason why I'm cutting their wings is because I much prefer, isn't he beautiful? I much prefer trimming their wings once a year rather than cutting off their wing altogether. This is called pinioning. And pinioning basically removes half of their wing on one side. And this right here, this trimming I just did, will last a whole year. So I won't have to do this again until this time next year. Whereas when you, thank you guys. But whereas if they're pinioned, you never have to trim their wings. But they also never have the option of flight. They lose half of their wing on one side. And in my opinion, it makes it harder for them to maneuver. Like right now, I'm leaving enough feathers where they can still have a little bit of lift. They have the option and the ability to fight, the option and the ability to defend themselves. They have more impact when they're fighting other geese. They have a better impact when they're fighting predators. They have a higher chance of being able to do what they need to do, and they can jump higher because they still have both of their full wings. I have two geese that are pinioned, and I personally genuinely much prefer not to have my geese pinioned. Now this is done, there's not going to be any more stressful situation like this for a whole nother year. So every single one of these geese is going to be left alone for a whole nother year when it comes to trimming. Nobody's going to be cutting nothing with these geese. Now, Pretty Bird, I did not trim Pretty Bird. And the reason why is because Pretty Bird has been grounded, as in he's never flown for 5 years. So I hatched him, I raised him. He never tried to fly when he was a baby. When he was about 1.5 or 2 years old, I trimmed his wing for the first time as a precaution because we lived next to a road and he was a house goose. So that he wouldn't accidentally fly if he got scared or something like that and then land on a highway that was very close to our home at the time. And since then, Pretty Bird now is no longer a lone goose, and he has his whole own gaggle. And that's his gal right there. That's Layla. That's his girlfriend. Hi, Layla. You see how he responds? That's his girl. He knows her name. Like, he knows her name. He knows who she is. If she opens her mouth, he responds. You see how he put his wings out like that? He's super excited to see her. He's super excited to be around her. That's his girl. Like his main female currently is Layla. Now geese do mate for life, but domestic geese don't always mate for life. So these wild geese, these Canadas, will mate for life. Whereas Layla and Peach will mate any male that they may choose during that season. Sometimes they do mate for life as well. Geese do, but they don't always. As in the domestic geese don't always mate for life because we've bred it out of them. Whereas exotics still mate for life. Now, Pretty Bird, he's a hybrid. He's a mix between a domestic and an exotic. So he's half Canada goose and half Chinese goose. This means that we don't know if he's going to be 100% about staying with Layla or if he's going to change his mind in the future. So far, it appears that he's willing to mate more than one female, but he's only willing to raise babies with Layla. So, which is a common occurrence in domestic ganders that are mixed with wild gander. Like, this is not unusual for him to be like that. But he's also very protective of his overall gaggle, and he is still protective of Dino and her babies, which we have another goose right now who has babies that she adopted. Geese are very, very, very much known for adopting babies that are orphaned. Well, Layla... Hey, Paul. Layla does not go with many men. She last year she had a different mate. She had 2 mates. So I guess she kind of does. Layla is a little bit of a player. So, but that is not unusual for domestic geese to not be quite as loyal to one male. This is one of the things I love about Canada geese. They mate for life. They are monogamous. They only mate one mate for the rest of their life. If that mate dies, sometimes they will move on and mate a new gander or a new goose. But they don't always. Sometimes they just stay a widow or widower for the rest of their lives. And when their mate dies, they actually mourn them. So they literally cry. Like they are depressed. In some cases, they will stop eating and stop drinking. And in some cases, if they were mated for a very long time, they can even die because they're so sad that they lost their partner. And it's actually really sweet how loyal they are. Yeah, so a lot of people misunderstand geese. Geese are actually very fascinating animals, especially the wild ones, have amazing personalities. They each individually have different personalities and different traits. Now, it is not legal in most countries, to the best of my knowledge, definitely in the US. Okay, I can speak for the US 100%. It is not legal to take a Canada goose or any wild goose from the wild. If it's a wild species of goose or a wild breed of goose, you are not allowed to take them home and keep them. If you see one that needs help, you are allowed to go get them and take them to a wildlife rehabber. You can find your local wildlife rehabber by calling them, looking them up on Google. You can call your local Fish and Games and ask for a number for a wildlife rehabber. They usually have an availability of phone numbers. But you cannot keep them at home beyond helping them get to somewhere where someone can help them. So that's really important to keep in mind. It is a federal offense to do so in the US, to keep them without a permit. And it is impossible to get a permit for a wild goose. The only reason why I can have these kind of animals is because I purchased them from legal breeders. So there are some people in the US that still exist that legally breed Canada geese. And if you go through the proper channels and you make sure your permits are in order, depending on your state, you may have to do something separate in your state to get proper permits. Some states just require a special document that you receive from the breeder. Regardless, once you have the proper documentation, you're illegal to keep them, not breed them. Those are 2 separate things. It's very important to know this. I like breed and sell. So keeping them and letting them have babies is fine, but I can't sell them. So if I have a Canada goose that mates with a Canada goose and they have babies, I can't sell those babies, okay? If I have a Canada goose that mates with a domestic goose and I have hybrid babies, I can sell those babies. I can sell hybrids, but I can't sell the purebreds. The reason why is because they're federally protected and I must have a breeder's permit, which is a separate piece of document, a separate permit to be allowed to sell them. It's very important that you guys make sure that if you ever buy a Canada goose or any exotic bird, that you know your laws in your state. It doesn't matter if you didn't know. Not knowing will not protect you from breaking the law. Okay? This is very, very important to know. Not knowing will not protect you from getting in trouble. Okay? So you must make sure that you know. And depending on your area, the wardens, I'm about to show you guys the goslings in just a second, and my newest domestic goose. I know, Dodo. I know, babies. Mama will be there in a second. I gotta turn on the light real quick. Not the light, the water hose. I can refill their pool. But basically, you need to make sure that you also know. Love you too, baby. Love you too, baby. You want to make sure that you know what the law is like and what the wardens are like in your area, because in some areas, no offense to any wardens, okay, but in some areas you have wardens that aren't super supportive of people like myself that own exotic breeds, and they're not okay, as in they hate Canada geese. Many wardens do. Many wardens don't like wild Canada geese, and they're not okay with you feeding them or helping them when they're injured, and they tend to be a little bit more mean about that stuff and very strict on the laws. Whereas other wardens, which I luckily have one of those in my area, is super supportive and actually cares about animals and wants to help them. I actually have a dear friend of mine who deals with mean wardens all the time, and he does nothing to break the law. And trust me, guys, I know the law. But they try their hardest to intimidate him to not assist any Canada geese and to leave them to fend for themselves when they're injured or in dire need of assistance. And the fact is that it's not illegal to assist an animal who's in dire need and to get them the proper care that they need to be okay. 1 second, gotta get that water hose in the right position here. Sorry about that, guys. There we go. Not quite. Nope. There we go. Let's go say hi to the babies. What do you guys think? Is it baby time? Yep. Paul is looking forward to seeing Dodo. Hi, Dodo. Hi, Dodo. 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 Hi, Dodo. Hi, Dodo. Dodo is a Sebastopol goose. Sebastopol geese were actually found in Russia in a town called Sebastopol. Nobody really knows how they were made, but they have these beautiful curly feathers all over, and they're super soft, and they're like down all over their body. And as you guys can see, Dodo is very tame, very sweet. Dodo. And she's definitely a very curious goose and likes to nibble on everything. Dodo. Dodo. No nibbling on my hand. Here we got my little bar-headed goslings. We've got Godzilla. Hi, Godzilla. And we've got Mothra. Hi, Mothra. Hi, my little moth. Hi, my little moth. Hi. Now, these are smaller geese. They are geese, but they are smaller in size. Just like little Squirt, the first goose that I trimmed, she was itty bitty tiny. She's a cackling goose, related to Canada geese, but a different species. And there's this dodo right here, about a regular sized goose versus the bar-headed geese. You guys can see that they are definitely smaller than her. Anyways, the bar-headed geese are actually from the Himalayas. So they are Asian wild geese. They live in the mountains near Mount Everest. And when they migrate, they are believed to be capable of flying above Mount Everest. They are the highest flying goose recorded in the history of, like, ever since we've looked at how high these birds can fly. Bar-headed geese are the highest flying goose there is. And dodo is a domestic goose. These are exotics. Dodo's a domestic, and dodo can't fly. Many domestics usually have limited flight. Some can fly. We have Dino over here who's separated overnight because she has babies. And yes, we have a lot of bugs over here right now because of the light. And they're dumping their water again, as always. Hi, mamas. Got the little babies there. They do not stay in here all day. Nothing like that. This is a nighttime enclosure to keep them safe from the other geese at night. This is Dino and her babies. I literally cleaned that 2 hours ago. Anyway. But now you guys have seen. Now these guys are still very young. So is Dodo. Dodo's probably about a month or two older than them. Hi, Dodo. Hi, Dodo. You're at least about 6 weeks older than them, huh? And Dodo literally grew up sleeping in my bedroom, on my bed, in a bucket, like in a large see-through bin, because she was a lone goose. She was the only baby that hatched from the eggs, so she was all by herself. And so she needed a lot more attention. And that's another factor. If you get goslings, if you want them to be friendly, you need to put in the effort. Are you having fun, Dodo? It's my phone clip. Anyways, you need to put in the effort to spend a lot of time with them. And when I say a lot, I mean every free minute that you have of every day should be spent with the goslings and with the young geese, to have geese that are going to be friendly. And regardless of how much time you spend with them, during breeding season and during gosling season, your males are still going to likely be more defensive and potentially even be a little aggressive. Now, I don't like using the word aggressive because that kind of suggests that they're attacking for no reason. And there's never a time that an animal, a goose, is going to attack for no reason. They're going to have their reasons. But as you guys can see, these guys are kind of focused on me. They want to come with me no matter where I go, and they're going to cry the minute I walk out. Oh, yeah. Paul, they are, to the best of my knowledge, they're pretty much fully grown now. So we've got Godzilla and Mothra, and it looks like Mothra is actually the boy and Godzilla is the girl. So Mothra might end up going by Moth because they are both aware of their names. So, yeah, Mothra is the boy most likely because, as we can see, Mothra is bigger. Hi, Mothra. Hi, baby. Hi, baby. Aren't they just so pretty? And then Godzilla is like super bonded to me. Huh, Godzilla? Yes, Godzilla. Hi, baby. Godzilla loves standing under me and just cuddling every chance that she gets. She always wants to be with me and come check out what I'm doing and nibble on me. And she's not biting. You can see she's not biting. They nibble. And that's another thing. When you own geese, you need to learn to differentiate between a nibble, and a bite. Okay? A goose bite is going to hurt like hell. Okay? It's not going to be just a little nibble. It's not going to be a little pinch. It's actually going to be an actual bite. I know. I'm sorry, babies. I'm sorry. You have to go to bed now. I'm sorry. You got to go to bed, babies. I know you want to come with Mama. I'm sorry. They've only been spending the night outside for probably about a week now. Huh, Dodo? Dodo! 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 Dodo, mommy's so proud of you. Dodo, mommy's so proud of you making friends with the bars. Yes, I am. See, these are just nibbles. Nibbles are completely normal. That's part of how they communicate. Nips are also normal. That's also part of how they communicate. Nibbles are going to be the ones that don't hurt. Nips might hurt a little bit, but not really. It's more like a small pinch. And bites, yeah. Bites, they really hurt. Like, you're going to have a bruise. And so it's very important to be aware that there's a difference and to not assume that your goose is biting you simply because they're nibbling you. Or they're nibbling on you. Because that's what they do. They'll nibble on you as part of their communication. And it's just what they do. See, this is all the feathers that I clipped just now. And they're going to be just fine. None of this hurt them. This does not hurt. If anything, they're going to be mad at me for having held them in place while we trimmed their wings. So, if anything, they're just not going to be happy about it. And it is stressful, especially if they're not comfortable with you pulling out their wing and holding it in place and holding on to them. And they're not used to that kind of treatment from me. They're used to me petting them, but not forcing them. I don't ever force them. And I usually have a very good relationship with my birds. And this won't ruin my relationship with them. It'll probably put a little dent into it for a little while. And I'll have to work on getting back their trust that they know I'm not trying to grab them again. Just for a little bit, probably a couple weeks or so. And then things will go back to normal. Now I'm going to herd the gaggle in. So a group of geese is actually not called a flock. It's actually called a gaggle when they're on the ground. And when you hear or see geese flying overhead, it's actually called a skein. A skein or a skein, depending on who you are, where you're from. Hey, Squirt. How you doing, Mama? You okay? Are you still mad at me? Yeah, I think you're mad at me, aren't you? Oh, Huff. I love you, Squirt. Yeah, I think Dodo hurt her beak. I don't know what happened, but she suddenly had a scab on her beak. It happens sometimes. Come on, babies. Night-night time. Let's go night-nights. Oh, I know. You don't trust me right now. Let's go. Night-night time. Come on, babies. Night-night time. Come on. And you can see wings are trimmed. Hopefully we did enough. So there won't be any issues when it comes to them trying to fly. If we see any problems with them trying to fly or successfully flying, then we will go back in and trim a little bit more. But they should be fine since these guys have barely ever flown in their lives. The reason why we trim is to keep them safe. In the U.S., hunters are not allowed to shoot Canada geese that are on the ground. They're only allowed to shoot them if they're flying. I do not have a massive property yet. My property is a few acres, but it's not massively huge. We do have a pond and such, but we also have neighboring ponds. And if my Canada geese were to decide to fly, see, now they're being stubborn because I just locked them in the aviary to trim them. And they're like, nope, we don't trust you. Hey, be nice. Bullies, go on. Come on, quit with the attitude. Charlie. Charlie. No. Come on, Mama. Come on, Mama. It's night-night time. It's night-night time. Come on. Come on. Go night-nights, babies. Come on. Night-night time. Night-night time. Let's go. Night-night time. I'm not going to lock you up and move other ones out again. I'm not separating you guys. You're okay. Squirt's waiting in line. Charlie's right here. Come on. Come on. Go ahead, Charlie. I'm sorry, Squirt. I'll get you guys some kale on Thursday, okay? Mommy will get you guys some kale on Thursday when we get paid, okay? The reason why I had to trim them tonight is because they've been trying to fly. So everybody has been misbehaving, trying to fly. And that's a big no-no. Now I need to go get them their food. Yes, they do look good. I am very happy. They all look better. I love that Squirt finally looks better. She looked so bad after everything that happened with Barney, Barnacle Boy. Not Barney. Barney is Sarah's. Barnacle. Goose. But after everything that happened with Barnacle Boy and all that stress, it just messed up her feathers so much. And then the mating season, the other geese picking on her, it just was not, she just wasn't looking too good because it picked on her and it messed with her feathers and her whole plumage was messed up and it just wasn't good. So I'm watering these areas to regrow the grass here because this is where the aviary was before, and that's the time before it was over there. And all these grass areas is where the aviary has been over time. So it's not like it stays that way. It just can take a little bit of time because right now we don't have a lot of rain. So it is taking longer for stuff to regrow. What you're hearing is the bar-headed gosling screaming for me, which tears my heart apart. They want to follow me so badly. I know, babies. It's okay. I know. I know. I know. I know. I know. I know. Godzilla, I know. I know, Godzilla, I know. Hey, Mothra. Hi, Mothra. I got some of my Canada's cooing with me. Yeah, I swear they sound like ducks right now, though. To me, they sound like ducks. Do they not sound like I've got ducks on my property? Like, I swear those sound like... I need to clean up this pool again. I must clean that pool again. Anyway. Rubber. Rub that out again. Anyway, though, I do hope that this live will help others who need to trim their birds to know where, look at that, to know where and how to trim so that they'll be able to prevent their birds from flying and keeping them safe, especially when they're younger or when they're going through a mating period and they're more likely to get distracted by wild geese. It's important that we do whatever we need to do to keep them safe. Like I said, I much prefer trimming them rather than pinioning them because pinioning is permanent and trimming is yearly. And while trimming them, I have a choice. And if anything were to ever happen, there would at least be a choice, like the ability for them to regrow their flight feathers and for them to be able to fly. Like worst case scenario, they can regrow them. But hopefully that's never necessary. But I do like that option for just in case, say when they're older, I may allow the males to grow out their wings once they're mated to their females, so that the males can have more power in protecting the goslings and the females while they're sitting on nests. And I like to have that option because it gives them more power to their wings when they're fighting, whether they're fighting predators or other geese. It's an option that I like having. So at the very minimum, I like that option of giving my males the ability of flight. Now the fact is that male Canada geese, will not leave their females, and male Canada geese are the ones that protect their females, and they will do, they will sacrifice their lives to keep their mates and their babies alive. Also, if the males are flighted after they're mated, it's not going to affect them leaving, because even if they were to fly, they would never leave their mate or their goslings ever. The whole year they will stay with their mates, and that's really, important. The mosquitoes are fairly bad right now. Like, they can be really, really bad. Yeah, my daughter and I, we got eaten up pretty good earlier. But we are in the US of A, America, red, white, and blue. America? Anyways, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get off here. I hope this helps for anybody that needs to trim their birds' wings and that's maybe dealing with exotics. But as you guys saw, it's only one wing. We're following the line of those feathers, the tips of the second feathers as a guide, and then trimming down to the first bend, not the entire wing. A lot of people seem to want to trim the entire wing. The reason we don't do that is because the wing, the outer part, so the part that goes from the elbow to the hand, that part actually folds under the part that goes from the elbow to the shoulder. And the feathers that are from the elbow to the shoulder create a seal on the outside. And when you trim all the way along that wing, you break that seal, which can make it harder for them during major weather changes. Like, for an example, during like rainstorms, ice storms, wind and weather, it can make it harder for them to stay warm. It can also mess with their seal when it comes to staying dry when it's raining a lot. So it's important to not trim the wings that are closer to the body and only trim the ones from the elbow to the hand. Those are the only ones that are necessary to trim. And to make sure that you follow that line, that you do not trim anything other than the longest feathers, which are the primary feathers, and do not cut into the secondary feathers or the primary feathers. The coverts. You only want to be clipping the primary feathers, nothing else. So, anyways, I'm going to go ahead and get off here. Hey, Brownie. Hey, there, Brownie. This is my daughter's cat. Hey, there, babies. Hi, babies. We actually found a home for all the strays. So the strays are gone. Now we just got Brownie and Simba. Our two cats are left. Yes, Mama. Our barn kitties. So, anyway, y'all have a good evening, and I will see you guys soon. Good night.